Hello, my friends. This is Laura Ward, and you are in a Laban lab. This is a class where we're going to learn about the dynamics of movement in space, or how we can move in space. And when I'm talking about space, I mean like geometric space. We're going to go really basic, and we're going to start with just playing in the vertical dimension. So the vertical dimension is up and down. And I am reaching one hand as high as I can, place high up on my tippy toes, and then down towards the ground, reaching up and down. You could do this smaller. You could just breathe up and down, up and down. So make it small, feel the up and downness, and then try it on the other side, reaching high and low. Vertical dimension, up and down. Dimension means two directions. We have place high and place low. So it's a single dimension, the vertical dimension with up and downness. And we want to do this kind of movement to get our fascia moving. We want to get our whole body, the organ of form, moving in these different ways so that we can. Let's try it with both hands. Down and up. It's like we're grounding ourselves, we're coming down to earth, and then we're reaching up, we're transcending to the heavens. So down and up. In the vertical dimension, one dimension, two directions. Ha, and then let's switch it to the horizontal dimension. We have two directions again, side, side, di, two, mention, directions. That's how it goes. So we're going to take our right hand, we're going to cross, right arm and leg, and then open. Crossing and opening. So we've got this big weight shift happening in the legs, and we're really shifting all the way out to one edge, and then crossing and taking that big weight shift. Then we're going to change it to the other side, crossing over and opening wide. We're trying to keep our hip bones facing front, crossing over, opening wide, crossing over, opening wide. One more. Horizontal dimension, side across and side open. So we had our vertical, our up, down. We can also do our side to side like this. We can open and cross, open, close, side, side, just finding that. We could think very much that this vertical up, downness is the I am, sort of the transcendent and the grounded, here I am, connecting heaven and earth. We can think of this horizontal as the we are. Oh, hello, friend on this side, hello, friend on this side. Here we are together in this space. We're sharing things through the horizontal space, the horizontal dimension. Then we have the forward backward, the other dimension, that is called the sagittal. So like Sagittarius, boom, you want to shoot straight, that is the sagittal dimension. So we're going to take one hand straight in front and then right behind. The opposite side of the body is working as a counter tension as we're moving forward and backward in space. So I like to think of the sagittal dimension as very much action, I'm going to do it, or inaction, I'm not going to do it. So I align this with willpower. It's my will. I'm moving forward on this project. Let's switch it to the other side. Take it back. I'm going to do it. Maybe not yet. I'm going to follow through. I'm going to step back. So just feeling into that relationship of moving forward and moving back. I had a friend who was another movement analyst. So this is coming from Laban movement analysis. My friend was going through a separation with her husband. She knows the scale of movement. It's no problem. But every time we came to going forward, she'd go somewhere else. So like our body, there's a Bessel van der Kolk book, Our Body Keeps the Score. It means our body is weighing up what's going on. If we don't want to move forward, it's going to be hard for us to move forward. So just tuning into that. We're going to put them all together. So we're going to go in the vertical dimension, up and down, same arm, same leg, crossing over, opening wide, taking it backwards and forwards. So this side of my body is just a pivot and a counter tension. This is the active one. We'll do the same thing again. Place high, place low. The vertical, the I am, side across, side open, the we are. Backwards and forwards, I will. I am going to do something. Again, up and down, vertical, side across, side open, backwards and forwards, sagittal. One more time, vertical up, down, horizontal, side across, side open, sagittal, backwards and forwards. Let's switch it to the other side. Going up and down, vertical, I am, side across, side open. Hello, friends, we are. Backwards and forwards. Action, decision making, willpower. Up and down. I am. Side across, side open. We are. Backwards and forwards. I will. I want. I decide. This is my will moving into the world. One more time on that side. Vertical, up and down. Horizontal, side across, side open, sagittal, backwards, and forwards. So if we took these dimensions, these 6 directions, up, down, side, side, backward, forward, we could say, like in my world right now, up, down, heaven and earth, forward, backward, that I have pretty much south and north, side across, side open. In the way that I am, that's east and west. So you can orient yourself in space, and many Druidic First Nations people, all sorts of people use that, setting yourself aligning with the directions. And if we look at like even the sign of the cross, vertical, horizontal, right? We're working these things together. If I take that and put it into a small form, or imagine this was a big form, this is an octahedron. It has 8 sides and 6 points. So the vertical is that axis up and down. The horizontal is from this point to this point, and the sagittal is this back point to the front point. So here's the outer, we're moving the inner scaffolding of this outer crystalline form. This is a platonic solid. And in the turn of the century, there were a lot of systems of movement that were really looking at this type of stuff. Not only systems of movement, art forms that were using this same material. Hilma F. Klimt, Kandinsky, Laban, I think Steiner. A lot of people were working with those things. Aleister Crowley, all these different forms were looking at how those platonic solids affect us, how they are reproduced in the world around us. If we look at crystals, we can see ones that look like that. So we're going to take our dimension, our vertical dimension, we're going to add some side. So our single dimension with 2 directions is going to add another dimension, some side, and we have the vertical plane. You can imagine this is the door plane. You can see I'm practically in my doorway, touching, here we go, the 4 corners of the door. I've got my high right, high left, low right, low left. High right, high left, low right, low left. High right, high left, low right, low left. Vertical plane. So if I want someone to see me, if I get big in the vertical plane, I'm over here. And a lot of times when people don't want to be seen, they're going to collapse their vertical plane, come into themselves. So practicing getting big, especially for you, I know that there are people watching this that are entrepreneurs that need to be able to be big, to stand up. And here's just another thing. I'm going to show you this sideways. If I'm like this and kind of leaning back, I can be blown over. If I take it slightly forward, I have my balance. I can block. So if I was a basketball player, I wouldn't want to block like this. I'd want to block like that. And you can feel into your body what happens when you open up into space with slightly forward motion. It's like you've gotten big in yourself and you're taking yourself forward. So just to think of that as a way of, I am opening up into space. I'm moving slightly forward. So I am taking myself into the world, into action. This is just sort of metaphysical ideas with movement, and how is that going to play out in the world? If I want to be in the sharing and caring, gathering, scattering information, I want to come into this horizontal plane. So my horizontal plane, I have my side, the dimension. I add some forward and backward, and I have the table plane. And the table plane, we can imagine, is like a big rectangular table with the 2 heads at either end. So there's like the head of the table, the head of the table, then all the other people that sit on the sides of the table. So the dominant spatial pull is the name of the plane, horizontal, and then we have the secondary dimension, which is the sagittal, forward, backwards. So I can go right, forward, middle, left, forward, middle, right, back, middle, left, back, middle, right, forward, middle, left, forward, middle, right, back, middle, left, back, middle. So this is a way of really opening up my body, mobilizing my fascia, shifting my weight around, taking up some space, right? Moving forward, moving back. It's kind of like skating. And then if I want to just be in mobilizing, hello everybody, come have some sandwiches. I would love to share this with you, this kind of gesture, sharing, palms up. I'm sharing my information in the truth plane right here around my waist. If I take it up higher, it could be like the visionary plane. Oh, look, it's at my eye level. Let me share this information with you. If I go higher, it's up here, transcendence. This is the message from the gods. They have told me I need to share it with you. So I'm going to come out into that transcendence. If I get down here, close to my groin, it's the grotesque plane. And you can see that that is like a little, what are they doing so close to their crotch? Culturally, often not acceptable. Although in some I'm going to fix my pants. Like there are some ways of even intimidating other people by getting really into your crotch. This might not work for women, but it might work, does work for men in other, like I'm going to pull on my balls. Anyway, just to make that a little funniness for you, think about that. If it was socially acceptable for women to grab their crotches and move around, I mean, it's not really socially acceptable for men either, depending on which culture you're associated in. But just thinking how all of these ideas have kind of universal language, universal expression, and some of them are culturally more acceptable in different cultures than others. So you want to be aware. If I come to you with my hands up, I am open-handed. Here, let me share this information. But if I do it with hands down, I'm either spreading something out so I can move forward, or I'm pushing something away, or I'm swiping away. Nope, I'm giving you a boundary. Here's my boundary. I will not go that far. So if you're somebody who struggles with boundaries, just doing this movement around yourself might be a good thing. Crossing in front of yourself. I am crossing my arms in front of me so you can't get in, right? I'm blocking. And women are often not taught to block things, right? Take it all in, take it in, take it in. No, nope, sorry. We're not having any of that here, right? This is a very clear thing. Don't want to see it, don't want to hear it. Buzz off. I'm going to push you away, or come on in. I'm going to invite you in, right? So how we move, how our gestures, how we gesticulate, I'm sharing this stuff. Look at this gesture. Here we go. Here's some more information. Or check out the wonder of it all. Like, I can just bask in the glory of everything around me, taking it in. If I lift my eyes up, if I open up in front of me, see, this is different when I'm opening up looking like that than when I'm pushing it away, right? My hand is out, but I'm showing something. Especially if I was beside you. Look at that. Can you see? Are you in the wonder with me? So thinking of how to inspire, maybe we want to go up into that wonder, right? These are just ways of playing with that horizontal plane with gesture when we open up our bodies. People that gesture and use big gestures are seen. And if the gestures really align with what the message is, then people feel comfortable and confident. See this movement? You can settle down. It's fine. I've got this. I've got this movement. Yes, I can nod my head. Oh, yes, this is really how it is. I'm certain. I'm going to steeple my hands and let you know. So there's different ways of all that stuff. Let's shake that out for a minute. And we're going to come into the sagittal. So the sagittal plane is the wheel plane. When we're doing like movement, this contralateral movement, like let's say we're cross-country skiing, totally in the sagittal plane. That contralateral movement, cross-body movement in sagittal is going to work as a reset for your nervous system. So if you've got stuff that just needs to be clear, go for a walk, swing your arms, go for a run, go cross-country skiing, right? You have to stay in the sagittal to cross country ski because if you unless you're going like up a hill or really moving, but usually you're in a track and you want to stay on the track. So just feeling how those things feel in your body. You can play with the sagittal, let it be like swingy. So it's our sagittal dimension, forward, backward, with some vertical, some up, down. It's the wheel plane. I can surrender. I can lift up, right? If I'm reaching out to the edge, I'm adding this periphery. So I've got my vertical, out and away, down, out and away, up. Great way to release some tension out of my shoulders. I'm letting my knees bend, playing in the sagittal dimension. Yeah. So that is like a little dance around the dimensional cross of axis, the scale of movement in here. And then when we did the planes, that's in here. This is the icosahedron. These two bottom points and these two top points create the vertical plane. These two side points and these two side points create the horizontal plane. These two front, these two back create the sagittal. So to my body, this is the sagittal. Horizontal, vertical. Yeah, so they're just great ways of learning how to move in space. And when we balance it out with our bodies, we're doing great things for our fascia because inside of our body, that fascia is supporting us. It's supporting our form. It is the organ of form. When we move evenly on both sides of our body with fascia, we are hydrating it. So we're bringing in health. We're creating more fluidity in our system, and we're giving ourselves access to more possibility. Like if I'm always in here, how big is my scope? If I start to expand out, get into a very far reach space or something in the middle where I can be very comfortable in here, I have a different effect on the world. So that's the scoop. This is all from Laban movement analysis. And it's not all, there's more things in here. There are other people's teachings that I have learned about body movement. So that's a little bite of it. Thank you.